Mr. GK, welcome to Shady, Vanessa, and of course we're talking Golden State Warriors, Tory Lanez, and feminism through the eyes of Amber Rose today. Mr. GK, would you like to introduce yourself?
Before I introduce myself, would it kill you to wait for me to start the show? Would it kill you to not lock the door? I walk up here, it smells like Snoop Dogg's bedroom. There's weed everywhere. There's a party going on. There's ladies, and I'm locked out, and I'm not having fun.
No, you weren't. Look, I don't control the door, George. I don't control the door. All I do for you is open doors.
Okay, Martin,
bro.
there's 4 people in here right now. One of the 4 people locked that door because they're all inside.
Who was that?
It wasn't
I
us,
think
bro.
it was Tehran.
I was the last person in here.
I think it was Tehran. It had to have been Tehran.
Do you know what it was? He was wearing sunglasses. It was probably blocking his vision.
Nah,
Didn't
when
realize.
you're a star, it's always sunny, bro. Like, I'm always stunning in my stunner shades.
Yeah, so you know it's GK Supreme today.
So GK Supreme on your Supreme
today.
stuff. Okay, so what we're discussing is we're discussing the concept of, you know, daddy issues means good in bed. I feel like mommy issues means small penis. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Well, good thing I don't have mommy issues. I'm a mama's boy.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
Like,
mommy's boys are.
No. But he's mommy's boy because honestly, here's the thing, and I'll tell you as girls, like real guy advice. The way a man treats his mother is very important because it sets the tone of how he thinks of women. And you should never date someone that you wouldn't be proud of to have as your own son. And that's a concept. If many more girls follow that advice, you would date and make better choices.
I mean, we were talking about this at breakfast. How weird is that? We had the
At breakfast, and
yeah, we were talking at breakfast, and it was like, well, it's 5 girls, weren't we? And we were discussing men with mummy issues and women with daddy issues, interestingly. But they also, I think the consensus was that a guy should, there's a difference between a guy treating his mum well and being respectful, but the mother being aggressive or abusive toward him. And then how, and the other way around, that the mother's not like so great, but he's actually quite rebellious and abusive towards the mum. And I think there's a difference then. It's important to recognize that.
So what's this difference that you're speaking of?
Well, I mean, from a lot of like I was very much a tomboy growing up. I had a lot of male friends and I have a lot of male cousins as well. And I kind of feel like the ones who have like quite aggressive or abusive mums, the guys are actually quite like, they actually like a maternal or a loving woman, and they actually, because they crave it and they want it, they're really respectful and they're really lovely and kind to women.
So abusive moms means good man?
No, I think it depends how they reacted growing up. So if they just took the abuse and like had to escape from it, it's different to a guy who actually was rebellious and aggressive back, because then they resent women. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point. I know I have some friends who like being told what to do by their significant other.
Okay.
Is that what you're speaking about?
Yeah, I mean, not even just told what to do, but just being like loving and having a fair exchange and being respectful and being kind and compassionate to a woman. But if you have a guy who's kind of been aggressive or rebellious back to his mum, then they have a resentment towards women, or they don't want to do anything for you. Like in it, Vanessa, we were talking about
that. That could make sense because hi Facebook Live. We're here at Dash Radio. What's up? I'm a mama's boy, and I don't like being told what to do when I'm dating. I'm kind of like the alpha.
Right.
Now
do you want to be looked after?
I want to be the tough one, yeah.
Okay.
Now, does that have to do with me having a mother who was like more, less strict with me, more lenient?
Okay.
Or does it have to do with me having like a Donald Trump syndrome?
What was your father like?
My father was a strict one. Oh, my father didn't play no games.
Right. Okay. And did he look
What up,
after
Jarnigan? He likes the accents. Jarnigan likes your accents.
Oh, big up.
And did he what?
Did he look after your mum?
He was like, my father's actually 10 years older than my mother.
Okay.
So he was more so like, there was like a definite age gap with my father and I, and then my mother and my father.
Right.
So do you think it's more that your dad was a good role model, and so you kind of picked up more on the dynamic between them?
Not at all.
that's what
I
you
love my
recreate?
dad.
Oh, right,
But,
okay.
but I'm just talking
Yo,
about.
why are you listen? You
No.
know why he says that? Because he feels like his dad and I are very similar.
Yeah, I feel like my father
Really?
and Tehran are the same
What?
like
He's always
personality.
thought-
And I hate to compliment Tehran.
What's your star sign, Tehran?
What's my
What's your star sign?
zodiac sign?
Yeah.
Is I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
you
me
felt the
too.
energy when you came in.
The energy, yeah, she felt the
Aquarius,
energy.
Yeah.
that's a
And
good
you?
sign. I'm a Libra.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
How come,
felt the
how come the
energy.
Aquarius
Vanessa
got the,
felt the energy.
oh, you're Aquarius
No,
and
don't
the
worry
Libra?
about us holding
It
hands.
becomes
She felt the
soulmates.
energy.
When I said I was a Libra, they said okay. And when he said he's Aquarius, he's holding hands or cheering for him.
Well, no,
and
because-
y'all already locked me out of the room.
Yo, we didn't listen. Stop. No one locked you out of the room. You know what? George doesn't have daddy issues
No,
or
he-
mommy issues. He has BFF issues. Okay, he has best friend Tehran issues.
Oh, look who's
All the
talking,
way.
Mr. Get Jealous when I post with other guy friends.
Listen,
That's so true.
Yo.
We do that as well.
you know why? Do you know why I get jealous when you post for other guy friends? First of all, I don't get jealous, okay, bro? That's not even what happens. What happens is the concept of you get annoying
Look,
with the people
did
you
someone
post
lock
with.
the door again? Is someone else locked out now? Yeah, but no, to like build off what I was saying earlier, besides the BFF issues, I think there's two things going on. One is that I like being, or I'm used to being dominant because maybe my mother wasn't too strict to me. And also my personality is more of an alpha person. I like to be the leader. I like to be in first place.
Okay, so me and Vanessa are both really like we're quite alpha in females, and we just do our thing. But so, do you like, if you're in a relationship, do you want a woman to be really like ditzy and flimsy and tell her what to do, or do you like a woman who's like strong and independent and does
a
her
good
thing?
question.
Yeah, George, which one do you like?
Yeah,
That's
what
a
do you like?
really
Because
good
if
question.
you're
Which
saying
one
your
do
mum
you
was
like, George?
your mum was lenient, right?
That's a very good question. And I'm going to be, we tell the truth on this show.
Yeah,
We're
go on, be
100.
true. Go on,
Yo,
be
GK
honest.
Supreme tells the
I'm
truth.
going to be real.
Mr.
Okay.
GK might have lied right now, but GK Supreme's gonna tell the
GK
truth.
Supreme's alive. Because I like taking the wheel, honestly, I think in a relationship, for me, it would work better if my partner was more chill. I ain't going to use the word ditzy.
Okay, chill.
More
Okay,
chill, laid
so
back.
so you had a strict mum, so you're kind of
No, I had a chill mom.
Oh no, you had a chilled mum, so
Yeah.
you're looking for a woman who's the same in a way.
Or who's kind of chill, like my mama.
So you're looking for your mummy and a
This is
girl.
why- I
But
love
don't you
Imperfect
think that would
Gentlemen.
get boring
It,
after a while if she did everything you said? If you're an alpha, if you're a
Yeah.
true alpha, you like a challenge.
I agree.
And that's the
It-
thing. I like a
I
challenge.
agree. Tehran really likes a challenge.
I like a challenge.
He likes a 90% challenge. I like a
Yeah, you can't be too. Here's the thing: girls don't realize you can't be too much of a challenge because then here's the
Hold
concept.
on, we have a comment. I want you to comment on this one.
What's this
Sorry.
comment?
This is from Jarnigan. Jarnigan made a very good point, and I want to address it. He said, "Bro, mama's boys can't be alphas." Is that a good point?
Oh, that's a very good point.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true, and I'll tell
I
you why.
yeah.
I disagree because George. That's as simple as it gets. George breaks that rule number one, and I've seen a lot of boys raised by their moms where you see a lot, unfortunately, in the black community where we have a lot of absentee fathers, right? And so you see a lot of strong male role models and models being raised by an entire generation of women.
Yeah.
So, and they're mama's boys because
Yeah.
say something about a rapper's mom and see what he does.
Yeah.
But they're definitely alpha males.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I knew
think
Tehran would have a good answer. What
I
up,
think
Sam?
it depends on the type of mum as well. So you can have a mum who's like super passive and like does everything for him, and he can be a mama's boy. Or you could have the kind of mum that's like really like strong and like kind of bosses him around. So it depends on what kind of mum you've got, I think.
Now, here's another challenging question to build into the next thing is socially having someone who's more dominant. Does that directly translate to the bedroom? Does that mean you sexually want a more dominant partner?
I think it's the opposite. I think that
I don't
You
want to
go for
dominate.
this
I don't
one.
want to. I don't want to dominate. I want to be the alpha in bed. I
He
I
wants
don't
to be
like.
alpha
I
in
don't.
bed.
Yeah, like I don't.
See, I want to be the alpha
let me do this.
in society and in bed. What do you ladies think?
I think the girls like how they were describing
need to-
themselves. And the girls that were describing themselves, I think they like a guy who maybe put them in check a little. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they got free reign, but a guy will put them in check.
I want to know from our
Save it for the
lady
music,
listeners
boy.
if that's
Just
true
save
or
it for
not.
the music.
Would you get bored with, since you're both alphas? Would you get bored?
I wouldn't class myself as alpha at all.
Oh, okay. dominant or no?
No, I think
You're
I play
very
both
strong.
sides. I'm super, super strong and independent, but I want to be looked after, and I know how to look after.
So
a man
she's
as
a
well.
Libra. She ain't an Aquarius. She's a Libra.
No,
those are
she's a-
Libra.
no,
No,
She's
she's
a woman.
fully an Aquarius.
She's a woman.
Exactly.
Like that's
Yeah.
like this is the thing about it. It's the roles that we play, and you don't. And not everyone has to fall into these roles. However, there's nothing wrong about being a man being a provider and the woman being the caretaker. Like that's a role too.
Yeah,
like people
for
try
sure.
to
For sure.
put that down, but there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yo, I'm
Yeah.
trying to be a stay-home
totally.
dad, and you're messing it up for me right now.
No, but you
Tehran.
can be a stay-home
Yeah,
dad. You know what I'm saying?
you can
You can
be.
be a stay-home dad. Are you know, am I going to call you a little bitch? Yeah, but that's me. But you can be a stay-home dad. And here's the thing about that. Stay-home dads can also be an amazing influence on their children because that's something where we kind of lack in society is the dad that's around. Even if our fathers like are in our lives, sometimes because of work, they're absentee fathers, even if they are in the same home and living, because by the time they get done working 50, 60 hours a week, they don't have time or feel like playing with the kids as much as they should and influencing their kids as much as they should.
So this isn't such a, what I'm hearing is it's not such a black and white thing socially, sexually. It's like you can almost play both sides. I like the point you made because I have a friend who, I don't know what they call themselves, like the dungeon slayers. Do you know what I'm trying to talk about?
Okay.
She basically is
Do you
a
know what
dominant.
he's talking about?
S&M, I suppose.
There's like a word for it. Does
right,
anyone
okay.
on Facebook Live know? It's like a
What's-
dominant.
Oh, like the
Dominatrix?
dominatrix star.
She's a dominatrix. So
Oh, okay.
Yo, they're from the UK. All they know is that
Okay,
dominatrix
so-
shit. They paddle the bum, paddle the bum.
So she gets hired basically by clients,
Yeah.
men who like being controlled. What
Right.
she told me is a majority of her clients
Powerful men.
super
are
successful.
powerful
Yeah,
men,
that's mad.
CEOs,
Sure.
company
Totally.
owners, and they
Yeah.
basically enjoy bending down, taking orders, being
Yeah.
whipped,
I think the reason why
which
they,
I would never enjoy. No,
I
it's
think
like-
the reason why they enjoy that is because they have so much responsibility and they have to be so in control all the time that it's actually like a turn on to kind of relinquish that control.
It's
and
like
give it to someone
recess at
else.
school. You're in class all day and you're like, just want to go out and run outside, do the opposite. of what
No,
you
it's
do.
not like recess.
No.
I enjoyed recess. I just never
Not
enjoyed
quite the
being
same.
whipped. Like, here's the thing about it. You know what I think it comes from? First of all, when they say that most of their clients are white. Let's get that. Let's put that on record.
You know,
I'm
that's a
going
very
on
good
record
point.
saying
Yo,
that.
you're
That's a
saying
very
you're
good
making that
point.
statement?
Yeah, I'm making that statement.
If you had to guess right now, what percent of the clientele are white?
85, 90%. Easy.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I'd love to ask her, but if she was like 100%, I wouldn't even doubt it. Number two, a lot of these people are raised in a school system where the teacher was a domineering teacher, someone who would come to the front of the class, Stanley, like one of those, right? And so
Stanley, you know,
that's
Stanley.
their first sexual
Stanley?
interaction.
Yeah,
I mean,
who
I
was
just feel like
Stanley?
there's a lot of Stanleys.
I know a lot of black Stanleys, brother.
And considering that they're CEOs, right? And unfortunately, statistically, once again, we just know there's not a lot of people of color in the CEO roles, especially of major companies.
Or women.
Or women.
Or it could be that those CEOs don't really have access to, I don't know, maybe they don't have access to women that are like sensual or intimate or can invest in a relationship that they can actually build sexually on together. Do you know what I mean? Because they're in a rush, they're running
Yeah, they don't have
around.
time to invest.
Like,
that.
yeah, they don't have time to invest like that. I mean, you know, we're from London, we're from ends. Like, I don't really know in particular anyone I can think of, or even a successful black man who would hire a random white chick to dress in like the weird
You
stuff
know,
with
like
whips.
that
Like, it's
kind of Germans.
just they just don't roll like
Yo,
that,
you
man.
See German porn? They don't even have sex.
They
Niggas
don't-
just
they don't-
fisting.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let's look at like the cultural implications without trying to be
Right.
racist.
I'ma
and just
be
say
racist.
We're
white
not being
people.
but we're not
But
being.
white
I don't
people.
think we're being racist.
Yeah, no,
I'm being racist and
that's
white
what I'm saying.
people.
I think in Middle Eastern culture,
Sure.
and in Black culture, okay, Tehran happens to be the perfect
Yeah.
mixture.
Okay, you're both.
In both cultures, for the most part, well, you can kind of conclude that the men are more dominant than other cultures.
I don't know, man. I've seen Middle Eastern men holding pinky fingers while
Yeah,
you're
no,
like,
listen.
This is my like.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
play
but
a
don't
game
be
all the
fooled.
time called Arab or Gay. Like
Yeah,
I play that game.
but don't be fooled because one of them dudes holding hands is receiving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. GK Supreme. That's what I'm saying.
But no, it's true. I think Middle Eastern men like to they like to entertain the idea, or they're under the illusion that they are dominant because they're loud or they might come across aggressive. But actually, the women in those households run things, and I don't think,
yo, that's real, yo.
yeah, and I don't think the guys would be able to really function a lot without them. Actually, like a really cheesy film I remember years ago was My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I'll never forget one of
Wasn't that cheesy? I was in it. I'm just kidding. I was
But even if you were in it, like,
Yo,
it's
for a
a
second we ought to be like, because George looks like he would be
yeah,
in
he
that
does
movie.
look like
Yeah,
he'd be in
you
it. But there was one point where like they tried to convince the dad of like doing something, and then the woman said to the daughter was like, "How did you make it happen?" And she said, "Remember." Do you remember the line?
It's
Something like the man might turn the head, but it's the woman that turns the neck. Is the neck that turns the head.
The man is the head of the family, but the woman is the neck.
Yeah,
that's it. And I think it is. That's so true. So I personally, although like the Middle East and like the Iranian men, my uncles and stuff like in my life might be, you know, kind of like very strong and very like bold, I really do feel like the women, like they'll get told like by my aunties and women and stuff like that.
And that's a good point. A lot of millionaires who I know, unfortunately I'm not one of them yet, but the millionaires who I know do not make a business decision without consulting their wife first.
Yeah, and that's a good idea, you know.
Yo,
I think
a lot of you know what, all these CEOs that like being whipped and all that, us alphas are broke as fuck. Maybe I need to start getting whipped, bro, and like start making decisions. Like maybe that's where we're going wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I need to be like, no, I like being pegged. Like maybe I need to be into something.
Maybe if we let go a little, we'd attract
I can't.
more successful people.
I can't.
Who are in
But I just can't.
But what are you measuring success by? At the end of the day, this is what we're talking about. Is all this like really
Money.
like
Success
central?
is not having to eat at McDonald's.
No, but you don't have to eat. No, you don't have to eat McDonald's.
Yes,
like,
we
look,
do.
no, you
Yes, I
don't.
do.
No, you don't
Yes,
need
I
to
do.
put that stuff in your body.
You've only been here for 2 days.
I haven't eaten McDonald's for 9 years.
You live in the UK.
Yeah, but
how
we've
many
got
McDonald's are there?
On every corner, we've got McDonald's and chicken shops on every
what do you
single
eat?
corner. I eat good food, man.
Like what?
I eat rice, curries, stews, kholesh bademjun. Like, you get me? You get me?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
that sounds nice. I don't like anything she just said. I don't like not a single thing.
What you don't like?
You know what I
chicken
like?
wraps. You don't like battered organic fried chicken.
We like two for
with,
$2.50.
Yeah.
The
Sweet-
McDonald's deal right
Bars.
now.
Bars.
No.
We like the McDouble
Bars.
and
You
the
don't like-
McChicken
no.
for $2.50
That's
right
so
now.
bad what you're putting in your
you
body.
know what? I'm gonna tell you, real life is difficult. I'm trying to die. Like, give me that McDonald's. I'm trying to. Like, I don't want to live to be 130 and still broke, nigga.
You're not gonna be broke, don't. What you guys are talking about? You're measuring success by a different. It all depends. It's all what you view as that. I think what we're talking about with the CEOs and all this stuff is a very like central, internal, ego-driven measure of success. And like, I'm not about that life at
that's
all.
real.
So
That's
at the end
good.
of the day,
Where do you live?
In North London.
Like where? Like, do you live at home with your family, or do you live?
I
on
do.
your own?
I do now. I moved back to my mum's and my grandma because
Oh, okay.
my mum is my grandma's carer.
Oh yeah.
And my grandma's got Parkinson's and like mobility issues, so I moved back home.
That's crazy. So you're not my measure of success. Listen,
Yeah.
here's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, what we're gonna do right now. What we're gonna do right now is talk about.
But
We're gonna talk
seriously,
about-
don't eat McDonald's.
No,
seriously.
it's not that
I actually like
we would.
McDonald's.
Yeah, we like.
No, but it
Like, I
doesn't
don't
matter
like
if you like it. It's what's in
We grew
it.
to like.
I always like
What
McDonald's.
happened is if we didn't have to, we're eating McDonald's out of this.
No,
system.
George wouldn't eat. Look, we're being funny. George eats very well. He eats lemonade, and George cooks. He's actually a very good
No,
cook.
he only brought up
Lemonade is a
lemonade.
very good restaurant. It's like a restaurant.
okay.
I'm not
Oh.
saying.
He brought up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why
Lemonade
he
is a
brought
good
up.
place.
He brought up
What?
lemonade
Yeah.
because he had a guest from out of town. He's like, where should we eat? And I was like, lemonade? Because I'm only paying for myself, so I'm good.
So he's like,
And
go
keep
to
in mind,
lemonade.
this ain't no boa. This isn't like an expensive
Yo,
restaurant.
the lemonade. Yo, we went to lemonade.
Oh, well, we gotta hear
Like,
this.
she got like one piece of kale and like half a gluten-free muffin. Shit was $42.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like that was a steak at boa.
What?
You know
Yo,
what I
I
mean?
was like this. First of all, and you know what? I found out a very good trick about kale. If you mix it with coconut oil, it makes it easier to scrape into the trash can. Fuck the kale, nigga. Like, I'm never eating kale. Do you understand?
What's your favorite food? Apart from McDonald's?
My favorite food in what?
Kuba Day.
No, Laura Masabzi is the best.
Oh,
Persian
that
food
is
ever
nice.
Made. The best Persian food ever made.
And do you know how to cook?
Definitely not. So that's why, like,
He
I don't
doesn't
even
know
do
how
laundry.
to cook.
Like,
but
listen,
if you go to his place, he will prepare a fresh gourmet meal for you.
This is why George loved this trick I
Okay.
pulled once.
I love this trick. He gave
so
me
one
dating
time I was
advice.
supposed to make dinner for this girl, right? And so what I did was I ordered the food and I just put it on a plate and put it in the stove and I put it in pots and stuff and I made it look like but I didn't. And then George, forever, he will remember that
love
and
it.
love that forever.
I love it.
Did
He
she
loved
clock?
Did she cook?
Did she clock that you did that?
Like, I don't know. That's-
Like, did she discover that you did that?
Oh, clock. That's a
oh,
cool.
clock.
That's some
Did
cool
she clock?
British lingo.
Yo,
Did she clock?
Yo, I'm gonna start talking like I
She
watch.
clock.
Yeah, I'm on my layer cake lingo right now. I'm gonna talk
Layer
like-
cake. That's
Yo,
like, yeah, that's
yo, that film was-
different.
I love that film.
That's more like East End mafia Cockney hooligan stuff.
That's where I live. So listen,
Have you been to
did
London?
she figure it out? Yes, I've been to London, but no, I have not because it falls under the before I was 15 with my parents.
Oh, okay.
See
right.
what I mean?
So
Like,
you need
I've
to
been
come to the
a lot
UK.
of places because
Yeah.
my parents like to travel.
Okay.
But I've just never been there. I've been to a lot of places on my own as well, but I have not been to London since.
Why
You need to come and do a show there, man.
I know.
You
I
need to
mean,
come out
every
there.
time it's
London,
kind of
bro.
felt
Yeah.
good.
Show London.
I love when
I'm
people
trying to
say
go
this
there.
stuff. You sound like my dad right now. He's like, Teron, why aren't you in the movie? The Kevin Hart's in the movie. You should be in the movie. Yeah, nigga, it's that easy, bro.
You should go. You're taller than Kevin Hart.
Yo.
You should.
That's
No, my London shows have actually fallen through a couple, but I'm definitely gonna make sure to check out London.
Do it.
yeah, do
See,
it.
I never understood why parents would
Is
take
your forearm hurting
all
yet?
four. I got these monkey arms. I don't even use a selfie stick. I was wondering
He's
why
hench.
parents, like when I'm a parent, I'm not taking my child to Disney. Like you're gonna remember what I paid for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till you're like 16. Then we're going to
true.
Disney
That's
World. I ain't
true.
taking you when you're 2 and you're not gonna know.
Listen,
And
it's
then
true.
buying
That's
all
so
this
real,
stuff,
though.
you know?
It is.
Hey,
true.
George just
Yo.
came up with a poppin' bit right now. That's poppin'.
Like,
I
I'm
feel like that about birthdays, even, man.
That's
Like all the
poppin'.
birthdays
Yeah.
you pay for when they're 2 and 3,
Exactly.
they ain't gonna remember those
Like,
birthdays.
and
I
you're
don't remember
buying
them
these
birthdays.
expensive toys. My kids ain't going to. They're not going to remember the toy. The toy's not going to outlast them. They're going to get a toy. It's going to be a car when they're 16. I'm not buying them anything.
They
Yo.
can save up all those years.
Exactly.
Or give them just an Argos
Dollar store
catalog to
until
look
you're
through.
10, bro.
Yeah. Why not, bro?
That's so jokes.
We're going to discuss real quick the Tory Lanez situation. In case you are not aware, what happened with the rapper, singer, and Toronto native Tory Lanez is he was at a store, which is like an H&M version of ours. It's a Renfro. He was in Canada, and they treated him subpar. He felt like they treated him with disrespect and condescending tone. So what he did was, in his own words, they looked at me like a broke nigga, and he spent $35,000 at the store to prove them wrong.
Oh wow.
And I want to know what you guys think of it, and I'll tell you what I think of it.
I mean, personally, I literally can't handle like unjust things like that. Like it really, that. I just don't think that he should have spent the money in the shop, to be honest. But I also, obviously for him, it's a pride thing. He wanted to prove it. But I just don't feel like you need to do that stuff with people that have that prejudice, or if they're racist like that, that's not going to change their mindset. Maybe for that minute, they might feel a bit like, oh, shame. But actually, that's something inbuilt in them like that. That's a position of privilege that they're not going to release just because you spent money in the store. And did he gain? Did he lose from doing that? Does he feel better about it? Has it made him feel worse? I don't know. But I don't think he should have spent the money in the store.
Vanessa?
I totally agree with what Shay said. I just think it's an ego thing, really, to be honest. I mean, he felt like he was being looked down on and he wanted to prove them wrong. But actually he shouldn't. Why should we care what other people think of us? Why do we need to prove them wrong? You know, that's what I think.
And also, like, wouldn't it have been better for him? How much did you say?
$35,000.
So wouldn't it, for me personally, I feel like, in my opinion, you take the $35,000 and you go and spend that in an independent black business or something that you want to support, maybe a grassroots store or maybe just another store that you like, because at the end of the day,
because I already know GK Supreme just fell in love. Like he's about to hit you up on your sliding DMs. He's about to be like, hey.
Yeah, I
don't know.
goosebumps, bro.
No, it's true though.
I get it.
So
GK?
I was about to make a counterpoint until you made that point, which I think was a phenomenal point.
Thank you.
I would like to know, to go to that store and say, how many incidents do you have stopping a Caucasian person after a purchase and questioning them? That's what I would like to know. And if the answer's even one, I'll dismiss this whole argument Tory Lanez is making. The problem is this has become a black celebrity issue. It happened in New York. It happened in Washington, D.C., Paris. And we keep hearing these stories from the black celebrities that they're walking in there and they're assuming they don't have enough money to buy it. They're assuming they sold. They're assuming they're maybe not making their money lawfully based on their presence, aka they're black. And it happens. It's an actual problem that's been repeating itself. So I would like to say that I agree with Tory Lanez. I don't think he's doing it out of ego. I think he's doing it out of necessity as a black celebrity.
So I actually appreciate everything all three of you said. It was really very well thought out, and you guys made very good points. I think Tory Lanez should have returned the merchandise after he bought it, just to prove, because he wanted to prove they bought it.
Yeah,
so why are you
that's
gonna,
a good point.
See, this is the thing people need to
Bars.
understand.
Yeah.
Is they need to understand. Everyone was so focused on November 8th, and when we went voting for the president, we vote every single day. It's called with the power of the dollar.
Absolutely.
Every time we give $1 to any business, to any celebrity, to any company, whether it's the Kardashians or Versace, we are voting for in support of whatever that brand stands for. We need to use our dollars more wisely. So, for example, 2 years ago when it was Oscars So White, black individuals and citizens should have went, and consumers should have went and took their dollars to support black film. And we would see a higher increase of black made movies. This is the same situation. This business treated you like shit. I understand. You wanted to prove them. You should have done that. And then as soon as you did, you'd be like, now take it all back.
Yeah.
Just so they understood that that's what you lost
that
out
would've
on.
been sick.
And then
That's
go
really
and
good.
spend that money in a black owned business
Yeah.
and show them what's up. Why is it always like people of color, no matter who they are always trying to prove themselves with the chip on their shoulder to the white mainstream? In actuality, what we're doing is counterproductive, because we are now giving power to that white mainstream.
Yeah.
We are saying you are the mainstream,
Yeah.
and I need to prove myself to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We can,
Exactly.
instead of caring about the Oscars, we could have cared more about the BET Awards and said, you know what? Fuck your Oscars. We're going to care about BET Awards, and that's going to be the new tone that we set.
Yeah.
But we never do. Even rappers and entertainers, as soon as they can, they quote unquote cross over. And it's because of the power of the dollar. So they stop calling themselves or referring to themselves as rappers and just simply being entertainers, because there's a connotation that's negative when it comes to rapper. And with that look that you're talking about, George, about just looking black, when you see a white guy with just messy hair, this guy could be a rock star. But you see a black guy, then he's nappy. You see a white guy dressed in torn clothes, then he must be a hipster. But it's a black guy, then he's a homeless bum. Like, who's out there buying new shoes?
Yo, that
Black
hipster
people.
beard
Like,
thing,
we need to stop doing that.
It's bothering me. Like, I got to keep my beard cut low. But the white guy hipsters, they have these long beards.
Yeah.
If I grow my beard, I start looking like something bad on the news.
Yeah.
And it's facts.
You do look kind of terroristic when you grow your beard. I've seen you look very terroristy once.
Come on, man.
We were getting on a flight, and I was like, you guys might want to arrest this guy.
No, we were getting on a flight, and this guy, Tehran, goes, "Why didn't you randomly check us? I'm mad at you." And I said, what the hell's wrong with
because
this
I didn't
guy?
feel safe. Look at him.
Yo.
Look at him with the beard. They
Yo.
let him on the plane. That's how far looking.
That's so funny. We had the same problem in London this year. like earlier this year as well, there's a club called District in central London, and it's kind of one of those
No, you guys have been having a lot of problems in London.
Yeah,
bro.
oh no, absolutely. But they weren't letting in, and there was a lot of like really like successful hip hop and grime artists, and they just like were turning them away at the door.
At the clubs.
Yeah.
At nightclubs, a lot. I've seen actually had friends that were turned away. Soccer players were being turned away.
But yeah, they were turning away. Basically, they might, because in clubs, you know, they usually let you in if you're a girl, or if you're a guy, you need a group of girls with you, etc. And they were turning away a lot of black girls, and then like skipping the queue and letting in the non people of color. Basically,
and there was a time. There was actually a club. I forget the name of the club, but a party had bought a table. They had reserved a table, and they just said no.
I think it is District.
They had left money and everything, and they just like no.
And then basically everyone refused. They were protesting. They refused to go. Now they're not going there, and the club is suffering, and they've got bad.
And that's
bad
what
press.
I appreciate.
And
I appreciate that.
Going off the point you were saying.
Let me tell you, because this is crazy. It's like one of those like outlier situations.
Mm-hmm.
But you made the point about why don't you go support black-owned business, which is an amazing point. I worked for a black-owned business. It was a black club owner.
Mm-hmm.
And one night stood above the doorman through the radio.
Mark Barnes.
And we're not saying any names.
I did.
And he was saying, don't let black people in.
Wow.
And he's black.
Right.
Yeah, but Mark is a businessman.
No, there was no name. There was no name, Tehran.
Hold on. And I'll tell you, because Mark's actually one of these people that I respect a lot. And the unfortunate reason that he was doing that is because he knew that if he let in too many black people into his club, which by the way, were the primary supporters of his clubs, then everyone else would stop going to those clubs. Because unfortunately, we see that we have to have Latin night and Black night and Chocolate Sunday and Mo Nigga Monday and Mo Nigga Monday.
You made that up, right?
Taco
I'm
Tuesday.
hoping you made that up.
I mean, the concept is it's so unfortunate that this kind of behavior still exists. But at the same time, let's play devil's advocate here and say we also have a lot of rappers who go around talking about how they sell so much drugs and commit so many crimes and how cool it is, and they're doing all these drugs and all this stuff. Then we shouldn't be upset when people believe us. That's the kind of music I like listen to sometimes, right? So it's like, should I be that upset when someone actually believes what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm selling dope off my iPhone, which, by the way, is the stupidest way to sell dope. That's clearly
like
how
Bobby Shmurda basically snitched on himself.
Selling crack since the 5th grade. Well, that nigga's in jail. He's in jail. Why? He's been selling crack since the 5th grade.
There was a situation, and I want your help with this, Tehran, and I want you lovely guests to chime in too. I need Tehran to tell this story properly because I don't think I'm remembering it correctly. But Jay-Z, I believe, was popping Cristal bottles in his music video. And there was like some complaint about them using Cristal. So they kind of boycotted it. I don't know if I'm getting the story backwards. And then the sales went down. They're like, see, you shouldn't have made that comment.
Cristal made a point where Cristal was like, we don't appreciate rappers using our bottles in their music videos. And then they realized that the degradation in their sales when rappers start boycotting Cristal, and that's actually how Ciroc became very popular.
Ciroc.
So, I mean, the black dollar is worth a lot. And when it comes to dollars, everyone loves the black people. Jordans love black people and this and that because it's the consumerism. But when it comes to actually, everyone loves being black until they actually have to be black. And then they look away. And it's unfortunate. Unfortunate this happened to Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, good luck. And besides, nigga, you don't have $35,000 to throw away like that. Like you have a hit and a half. Like make 2 hits first. Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. I don't know that much about Amber Rose.
Okay, so let me just. Amber Rose is Kanye West's ex, Wiz Khalifa's baby mama, originator of the Slut Walk, and now revealed her vajayjay on Instagram and started something called the hashtag Amber Rose Challenge, where girls are to be bottom naked.
Well, no, it was more than that.
Really?
It was leaving the bush.
Leaving the bush.
Leaving the bush.
Well, actually, it's interesting because leaving the bush is what made it not censored. So if you watch movies, even when girls' vaginas are revealed, they have to have a bush. So do guys. They can't be shaven or it would be considered pornography. So it had a lot to do with that, but it's a movement where she just has her bush out and, she's had kids and she didn't leave a lot up to imagination. People are calling it feminism. Do you feel like it's feminism?
I think you can tell by my face that I don't. No, I think, obviously we're born with what we're born with, and a lot of people think that, okay, why do we have to cover up? But But unfortunately, we do live in a society where we cover up. And I just think that there are certain areas that are very intimate, and they should only be for, you know, your partner, because what they're used for is a very intimate act. So why are you showing it to the world? I feel like it's just for your partner, and that's it. So I totally disagree with what she's doing. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know the ins and outs of it or what she's promoting, but
well, she's always.
But I wouldn't be doing it.
She's been very big at promoting and advocating for sexual prowess within the female community and gender, and taking sexuality back, and how it's empowering to women and things of that nature. So it's very much along the lines, and it's not like. Let's be real. It's not like Amber Rose is this chaste nun and then she's doing this. She's also, you know, a former video girl. She is bad. Listen, let's be real. I have
a photo with her on my Instagram. What? Tehran took it. What?
Her vagina out. It's not like Oprah did this. You know what I'm saying? It's along the lines of Amber Rose, but she's saying it's freeing. Just being naked is freeing. It's empowering. Just being yourself, you know? And it's nice. I mean, like I said, I see both sides of this position. I mean, I have
you
a personal
can't.
opinion,
You got to decide on one. The world ends
you don't
if
have
you
to
don't pick
decide
one.
on
But the
one.
world's ending. You have to pick one.
My pick on this is, I don't give a fuck. Like, I understand. I mean, I understand. It's the fact that so many people care. That's the problem. Like, so many people care. Like, this is changing the world.
I'm against it. I'll tell you why.
Why are you against it?
I'm only against it because I like to clean shave, and I don't want that trend from the 70s.
Actually, you know
to
what?
come
It's
back.
surprising. I would think Amber Rose was clean shaven. You know, given
she looks
given
like
her
the short hair, the clean.
No. I've seen her vagina, and it's usually clean shaven. You can just Google it; it pops right up. Here's the thing with Amber Rose. With Amber Rose, it's interesting because she's equating this to sexuality and her sexuality to feminism. And my thing is, well, how about that? There's like 60% of the world's female population still don't have access to education. Let's donate to that. That you want to increase feminism, and let's maybe strengthen the mind as well. And here's the thing: I don't give a preference to mind over body, and I dislike when we do that as a society. We do that even with our athletes. Athletes are stupid, and what they do is kind of stupid, but intelligent people is the way to go. I get it, but we need both. We place a lot of emphasis on academic achievement in school and not on athletic achievement, even though athletic achievement clearly is a path to success as well. So I give both power. So I don't disagree with Amber. I just also think that the flip side is if you're talking about feminism, women shouldn't be the ones calling other girls whores more than guys even call them whores. And I see that a lot. I see girls judging other girls say, oh, well, she must be dumb because she's pretty. That's not fair.
I saw an argument online, which was pretty intriguing, where they were equating the black community re-owning the N-word and changing it to Amber Rose reclaiming the word slut and doing the slut walk. Is there a sense of parallelism here?
I think that the more
let's let the black guy answer it to be safe.
I'll be
well, no, I mean,
more parallel about that. Well, she's a woman; she can. But for parallelism, I'll say this: if it was the word bitch, and I've seen women reclaim the word bitch, as in I'm a boss ass bitch, or I'm like as in it's a powerful word. I can see a lot more connection to that than the word slut. The word slut's connotation isn't one that has. There is a positive way to say slut. And there is no positive way to say nigger. Like, and the positive way to say slut is don't be a slut, you know? But if you're a black guy, automatically in racism terms, you are a nigger. So it's just a different, I saw a lot of people say that about different words. Like, well, the word fag or the word bitch, they're all empowering, but no other community doesn't allow others to say that word.
My concern is the younger kids. Sorry to cut you off, but my concern is the younger kids who just see slut walk. They don't understand these connotations, and they don't know what it is. They don't even know what it is.
Well, yeah, young kids are all sluts now.
There's I think there's like three different parts to this. While you guys are talking, I think firstly in terms of the use of the N-word and then reclaiming back words like, I don't even know if it's a word to reclaim because who suggested it, who started it, where does it come from? Words like slut and bitch. I think in a way it's almost like a choice. like to be that. It's almost something that you might embody or choose to carry yourself like. Whereas the N-word was what someone is hearing before a lynching. I think it's a very different context.
Wow.
You literally cannot compare years and years of
but the word slut can also be heard right before raping, and let's not like judge someone's sin because they're sinning differently. Like, both are just degrading terms. I just think nigger is the top of the degrading term.
They're both degrading and derogatory, but like one is something how somebody is choosing to embody themselves as that. Whereas a black person is just existing, and they were being murdered, and it's years and years of years and years of systematic brutality, and I think that's a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying that. I mean, as a minority in women's rights, by the way,
it's actually all the English people's fault. So we're just gonna put it out there. Like, a lot of stuff in the world is all England's fault. So we're just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah,
go on, please continue.
So there's that side of it, and then also I think that there is the flips. There is. Feminism is about a woman being comfortable in their body and empowering themselves, but also that men need to have a very heavy involvement in it. There's like this kind of discourse that is just up to females to like be part of the feminist movement, but it's also up to men. Now, seeing women put their bodies like that out on social media. I'm a youth worker. I work with a lot of young people. On Thursday evening, my workshop was about hip hop and feminism, and on Wednesday I had to give a talk on it. So this week's been very dominant for me. And the young girls I work with, they really suffer from seeing social media and music videos and how women are on magazines where all the men usually that are on Double XL or like these kind of like GQ magazines, and all the magazines are on, they're always in suits and ties.
I don't know, I've never seen 50 Cent with a shirt on in my life.
I mean, the majority, like if we pull up
If I was 50, I would never have a shirt on.
If we pull up Google images now and we look up magazine covers with men, the majority of them will be in shirts and ties and look like they're entrepreneurs and young businessmen. And the women, most of the time, probably because the editor is a man, or maybe the corporate owner of the magazine is a man, that most of the time they're not really wearing much, and it doesn't. And the women are stunning, they're beautiful, they look great, but it's the point that there's such an imbalance of it. It's the imbalance that's the problem. I always say I find it really strange that Shakira and Rihanna are kissing and grinding and scissoring and like kissing each other in the video.
Scissoring? Can I look that up?
And they are,
that's a keyword.
But you know, they're like,
we're the problem.
They're fully like not gay. Like they are.
But we are the problem.
But men, you will never have Kanye West and Drake grinding themselves against a wall. Why are they making women do it? No, have you ever seen Drake and Kanye West touching each other's faces?
Hold on. See, this is the thing. This is the concept about equality. Everyone thinks that equality means we have to act the same. That is not what equality means. Equality means that we're all worth the same. So while you're saying that, yeah, you won't see Drake and Kanye, it's because male sexuality and female sexuality are presented differently. And that's by design. Women are clearly the more sensual by design of the two genders. Meaning what? That if a girl does more feminine acts, like for example, kisses a girl, there's not the same connotation sexually as it would be if a guy losing his
okay, hold on.
Why
to
not?
Whom?
Because of society.
No, to whom? No, because it's the male vision. It's what is pleasurable to a man.
Yeah,
sure.
And what honors a man and 100%. What he likes.
Whose benefit is it for?
But
two women kissing is for a man's benefit.
Yeah.
Amber Rose's vagina is for a man's benefit.
Absolutely.
Her getting every woman to show their vagina.
Are you turned on by two guys kissing?
Who's going to look at the vaginas?
I understand. Are you turned on by two guys kissing?
Men, so they're benefiting.
Sure.
How's that feminism?
Are you turned on by two guys kissing?
Absolutely not.
Are you, Shay?
No.
Okay, that's why we don't have those on magazine covers. If you were, and you were buying them, they would be. And I'll tell you why. See, here's the thing about economics, right? Economics takes everything we talk about and takes it down to, sure, everyone says these things, but what's the truth? And the truth of the matter is that Playboy sold infinite amount of magazines than Playgirl did. They tried, and it did not work. And that's the concept. It's the way that we experience sex.
No, but it's because systematically from the beginning, women have been used for. That's why we had courtesans back in the day. Like that's all.
Sure,
that's all women have been used and treated
like
for.
That's a great argument. But the concept is men are visual. How do you know? When we're having sex, if you close your eyes, if you open it one time, you'll see this nigga staring right at you.
Jerron, my question is,
like, he wants to see.
But hold on. I'm not turned on by two women kissing.
Thank you.
But that's not. But
Does
hold
nothing
on.
for me.
There's a lot of guys that aren't.
That doesn't mean sure. But here's the thing. There's also that one Asian guy who's a great driver. That's not. Don't take an outlier situation.
That's also racist.
No. Hold on. Because
once again, this isn't my opinion.
Yeah.
Pornhub, which is and Google are indiscriminate. All they do is collect data on people. And Pornhub has put out that the #1 search for men and women, by the way, right?
Right.
Coincides with lesbian porn. So guys really like it. So all those guys who are like, we hate gays, they don't mean hot lesbian girls. And girls actually kind of like it too. So I'm not making this isn't my opinion. This is a statistic. So when we look at things and we say, well, we need to change. Why do we need to change the way we are? Instead, why don't we give it a different definition where we're like, we understand it, but don't exploit it? That's the difference.
So then going back with the exploitation thing, it's kind of touching on what you said a bit with the whole, is it feminism and what is Amber Rose actually creating with that movement, where I totally agree in a sense of when you were talking about what like she could be giving to education in that sense, is that I really feel like the young female generation, they've already got so much pressure with social media now that we didn't have. They're always like having to look a certain way, present themselves a certain way, be judged now by like millions of strangers online, etc. And actually, for me, that is a form of exploitation of young women. I feel like, why aren't we making the next gatekeepers and decision makers of businesses? Why are we not having more young women, even more young black women? They'd be the most minority, and teaching them how to be business owners. Like there's so many other things you could be using your position of power for. At the end of the day, a lot of us hip hop artists that I even know back home, we try and with our little core fan base or anything that we have on social media.
She's a hip hop artist, Ron?
Yeah, she is.
That we can make a difference with. That's what we're using our position of influence for. So somebody like Amber Rose absolutely has the entire freedom to do that. And so you are choosing to tell all these girls to now flash your genitalia. Like it's kind of like I mean,
you pointed at something very real. I know someone who's a singer, and they're now transitioning into an Insta model, for example.
I swear you were going to say a singer transitioning into a male.
No, this pressure to become an Insta model right now, the viability, it's the thing. It's what's in right now. And a lot of people, like what you're saying, and this same person won't wear the same outfit twice on social media and has thousands of pictures. So what do you do? And there's this new path that we're projecting where, just keep posting pictures of yourself, exploit your sexuality. That way you get sponsors. That way you get attention to guys who will pay for your living instead of them becoming the bosses themselves.
Yeah.
And that is a real new age social media issue.
And we see a lot of girls who go to the club and they walk around and they table hop and they're table whores. Why? Instead of, if you just got together and chipped in, you could buy your own table.
Yeah.
Like, it's just interesting to me, sure. But here's the thing. Do I think what Amber Rose did is, should she do it? If she feels like that's her vision of feminism, then who are we to judge that that's not? It's up to us, the consumer, to buy into it or not.
Yeah.
We need to have more free will and allow so that the need for influencers becomes less and minimizes. We are choosing everything that gets done. So while we say, yes, it's because of this and because of racism and because of misogyny, it's because of our dollar. Once, for example, Straight Outta Compton did well, the very next year, the Tupac movie's coming out in a week because, hey, all they cared about was that dollar, the basics. You don't want to see naked girls on magazine covers? Then don't buy them anymore.
No, I totally
and they
agree.
Will stop.
Yeah.
And if you want to see girls in hijab on covers, start buying those and you will see those pop up. We really pay for our own destiny.
I 100% agree with you. I really do feel like the revolution is in the currency. Like I do have that mindset. I think also, I know who we know, and I mean, I don't know your circle of friends or the community you're in. I can only speak for myself, but I think it depends as well, like who you are and where you live, and we kind of forget that. For example, even in rap and hip hop, when hip hop kind of got monetized, and all the people that look after gangster rappers and these guys that are like promoting drinking pharmaceuticals to get high in the club and snort coke and do all this stuff to get famous, a lot of their management or their industry label owners are like these white middle class men who actually take a big chunk of the money and then just pay them to do what they're doing, and they're really exploited in that sense. But who are the consumers and buyers of that music? A lot of them are just these like suburban kids who have this fantasy idea of what it is to be in the hood, or what it is to be a gangster in that sense. So actually the power is in our currency, but also unfortunately a lot of the audience that is sold this stuff don't have our mindset or our mindfulness as such, because they are just that consumer and in that capitalist society, and they're just like these random white rich kids from the suburbs who can afford to buy iTunes music every single day albums. A lot of the people, the young kids I work with, they have to download their stuff illegally. They can't afford to be paying for like music albums and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think
snitches get stitches on this show. We don't play that at all.
Boy,
but that's why I love to have these conversations.
Though,
hopefully we're out there starting conversations with you amongst yourselves. Please feel free to tell us what you think and how you feel. Where can they find us, George?
Thank you, Teron. Imperfect G Show.
And just remember, whenever you find us, just let us know what you think.
Facebook.com/Imperfect Gentlemen or Imperfect G Show. YouTube.com/Imperfect Gentlemen with an E, right? I got that one. User, you don't need to put the user, Martin.
Yo, we're not giving out our passport and password, Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
Martin's gonna have anonymous hacking our shit.
Yo, like I just took some Nigerians all and turned it on Martin.
Yo, so real quick, we would be remiss to say our Imperfect Gentleman of the Week. It's easy to say it was the Golden State Warriors who won the 2017 NBA championship.
Chef Curry with the Rock Boy.
Kevin Durant, who was nominated for and made MVP of the finals.
DMV.
However, I would love to say that both teams that played are the true Imperfect Gentlemen because of the way they handled it. They played their hearts out, and everyone out there having these discussions about who's better and who's worse, and LeBron sucks and Kevin Durant sucks and he's a crybaby bitch and LeBron crybaby this. Yo, all of us crybaby and flop in real life. They're doing it for hundreds of $1 million on TV, and all of us have like dropped out. Like I remember kids who they're like Kevin Durant switched teams. Like nigga, I know people who dropped their majors because it was too hard and then switched, and so they're taking different classes and became something else because it was too hard.
I like real quick what my boy Josh said online. He said, if you had an opportunity to move up in your company and move to a different job and get paid more, would you do it?
Would you do it? We all would for our families. And so I have a lot of respect for Kevin Durant. I have a lot of respect for LeBron James and all these guys who are truly the best. They're the best. And I don't know how that feels to be the best at anything. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for doing what you do. And at the end of the day, I just want everyone to remember it's just a sport. It's not curing cancer. It's not feeding starving kids. You know, like people were more accepting of Caitlyn Jenner transitioning to a woman than Kevin Durant transitioning into a Golden State Warrior. Like we need to rethink our priorities and think about what we really need to care about. What we need to care about is the welfare of the planet because that's the planet that we live on. Jeez. So thank you so much for checking in, watching our show each and every week right here on Dash, on XM. Make sure you check us out on iTunes and share. I'm Teron Von Gossary alongside.
That was long, but good. GK Supreme.
And our lovely guests, of course.
Shay D.
Where can they find you?
At Shay D Rap on everything.
And Shay D, SHAY, the letter D.
Yes.
Rap.
Yes.
RAP.
Yes.
Shady rap.
And Vanessa.
And Vanessa, and you can't find me.
Wow.
You actually can't.
So
I'm not on social media.
Listen, so Vanessa just got wiped up by me. So listen, I spy with my little eyes. And here we go. Once again, Taran Bangasri.
GK Supreme. I'm Supreme form today.
And we are
Imperfect
Gentlemen. Remember, nobody's perfect.
But us.